Hello, my name is Colton Leach. Here is my new audiobook, The Boy Who Wore Glasses and Favored the Color Orange. I wrote this book and illustrated the cover. And when you hear a wave splash, the next chapter has started. It was the summer of 2009, the end of a really fun decade, but not the end of my life since I was only 10. A lot of changes happened when I was 10. I started wearing glasses, I got a new aide at school, and I finally had a dream that I wanted to accomplish, which was to become an animator. I love to draw and get creative, which is a definite autistic talent. Of course, those were just the positive things. Nothing can be all God. The negative part of being 10 for me was the start of my anxiety. I had 2 years until I was in middle school, which TV and books tried to make seem awful, like bullying and tormentation happening every day to everyone, and because I was different, I was going to get picked on, I thought. I was even more afraid of high school since there was the stereotype where teenagers just wanted to make fun of others for being different and they made it profound. One Sunday afternoon, I bought a new boogie board that had SpongeBob and Patrick on it, my second surfboard after that colorful shark one which broke in half. The next morning, I was at my dad's house putting everything in the trunk and that I packed for our trip to Sandcastle, Seaside, Florida. I waved goodbye to my mother as soon as my father, my stepmother, Jessica, and I got in the car. Sandcastle Seaside was a beach city with about a 19,000 population. It was a pretty big beach and it had a lot to do, including a boardwalk that made for a good hangout place for teens, and at night, Sandcastle Seaside just glistened, kind of like something out of a dream. The only thing I was afraid of was looking funny, since so many cool and hip young people lived and visited the city, and I was sweet and innocent, being different was hard. After passing several gas stations while playing Sonic Rush, we finally arrived at our hotel, a medium-sized tiki-themed hotel called Uka Muka Momo's. The bell person guided my dad to our room. As we were taking our luggage to the room, we passed a nice indoor pool the shape of an avocado, and there was a girl about my age in an orange swimsuit. Orange was always my favorite color. She had short brown hair, a nice tan, a puffy face on a skinny body, and big eyes. I always was into girls even when I was only 3. The hotel was for adults, but if you had a kid, you went to the rooms that had a small bedroom. My bedroom had a bunk bed, a toy box, a Princess TV set, and a colorful lamp that had fish on it. The privacy was what I liked. What I didn't like was the loneliness. I was an only child and I didn't have friends who had time to go on all these fun trips with me because of sports and cheerleading, but my dad knew the hotel didn't have enough to entertain me when he looked it up, which is why I came prepared with my art supplies and video games. It was almost 6 o'clock, and since it was a 12-hour drive, we, of course, were hungry. The hotel's restaurant was too expensive, and parents weren't allowed to bring their kids to it until they were 18. Dad saw a restaurant across the street from our hotel, which was local to the city, Blondie's Batch, which had a blonde-headed lady in a mermaid-like outfit on the neon sign, and I believe it was an old hardware store that they made into a restaurant. I had my Game Boy Advance playing Super Mario while I was headed to the entrance of Blondie's Batch with my father and stepmother Jessica, then approached a hostess about 22 or 23. Of course, I was only 10 at the time, but all my life I already had my idea of a pretty girls with an appearance similar to Velma. The hostess led me, my father, and my stepmother to a booth. "What an adorable little guy," commented the hostess. "How old are you?" 15? TBH, I actually took that as a compliment because most people like to be told they look younger and I like to feel more matured. Our waitress arrived at our booth. She asked us what drinks we wanted. Diet Coke, I said nervously. My father and stepmother ordered Diet Cokes as well. Then, as she left, I was secretly scared. The waitress had an extremely popular background, like a fashion model who would be on the cover of a sports magazine. But for some reason, I was on edge. Not sheepish or awkward, rather uncomfortable. I put my Game Boy Advance in my backpack and started worrying the woman was going to be mean to me. Kind of like a school bully. I was afraid the waitress was the type who would treat me like how Vicky and Trixie treated Timmy. The waitress brought our drinks, and I forcefully looked away from her. "Thank you," I said in a way to keep from embarrassing myself. "Is there something wrong, boy?" the waitress asked me. "Oh, he's just learning how to meet new people," responded Jessica. The waitress asked us what food we wanted. I ordered a platter. Then she left after she wrote down our orders. I felt guilty for being afraid of the waitress, so I reached for my sketchbook out of my backpack, as well as my crayons and black ink pen, and then I drew an adorable cartoon version of the waitress. Our waitress was headed to our booth with our food, but I was barely finished coloring the doodle with my Crayola crayons, so I tried to hurry. Luckily, I was done as soon as she made it. Then I tore the artwork out of the sketchbook and handed it to the waitress. "Is this me?" asked the waitress impressedly. "Well, yes, I wanted to draw you something because you seemed nice." "This is precious," she said happily. "Thank you. Enjoy your food." I happily ate my food, which was chicken tenders, crinkle cut fries, hush puppies, and popcorn shrimp. Then I ordered an ice cream skillet cookie for dessert. It had a lot of chocolate on the inside, and it it had ice cream on the outside that was caramel coated. After I ate the cookie, Dad got a photo with our waitress, and she asked me how I drew so well. I told her I wanted to be an animator, but she had no clue what an animator was, so I told her it meant a person who makes cartoons. My father, stepmother, and I were all full, so we went to sleep in our beds. In my bedroom, my television had cable, and I changed it to Nick. At my mom's house, I was used to having our television on while we were asleep because the sounds outdoors at night creeped us out. However, the sounds of the ocean outside were much more soothing than the sounds of a quiet, landlocked neighborhood, which was where I lived. I went to sleep and wondered what our next trip would be, but I was still anxious. "I hope nobody picks on me," I thought to myself hopefully. The next morning, we went to the hotel restaurant, which had free breakfast. It was only expensive and honeymoon like at night. After breakfast, we got our swimsuits on and headed down to the beach, which was pretty big for a beach in Florida. I had been to New Smyrna most of my life, but that was a small beach. Sandcastle Seaside was more like beaches and video games. Next to our towel on the beach was the same girl from our first night. I walked over to her. I was able to keep my cool. "Hello," I said. "My name is Colton." "Hi," she said kindly. "My name is Hannah." I was so excited to meet another girl because I had more friends at school who were girls than boys. "Are you from Florida?" Hannah asked. "No," I replied. "I was born in Ohio and I've lived in Kentucky since 2 years after I was born. We're just on vacation." "Well, I was born in North Carolina and raised in South Carolina, so my trip was quicker than yours." I didn't get her last name, but I didn't say mine either. I mean, hey, we were kids. And I wasn't desperate to compliment a girl's good looks. "You're a cutie," I told her. "Thank you." "You want to hang out?" I asked. "Sure," she said calmly. Hannah grabbed her beach pail and followed me to the ocean, and as soon as we got in the water, I asked Hannah to put her beach pail on her head. What? She asked. Put a beach pail on your head, I told her. Just do it, please. Hannah shrugged and put the beach pail on her head. Her whole hair and face were covered up, and that was how I liked it. I gave Hannah a hug, then I started dancing with her. She giggled confusedly the whole time. Hannah's mom thought it was adorable, so she got it on video on her phone. Parents love to capture memories. I was done playing with Hannah. She took the beach ball off her head. Want to go for a walk? I asked. Sorry, I have to go, Hannah said. My mom doesn't want to miss this movie she's wanted to see at the boardwalk. It's very important to her. I had fun though. As soon as she left, I was a little down, but that's when I learned that when you meet someone once in your childhood, you never see them again. As far as I knew. My father, stepmother Jessica, and I were back in our room with our regular clothes back on. The fact that Hannah left made me feel lonely again, like I was never going to find a friend to just keep forever. But I always remembered the phrase, never say never. I knew I was going to have a great vacation even if I only had 3 days. Dad told me that we were going to the boardwalk, which was where Hannah was going. Hopefully I would meet her at the movie theater there. I put $100 in my wallet. Yeah, I had a wallet when I was little. As soon as we got in the car, I wanted to roll down the window and mimic when Ed said big trouble in Ed, Ed and Eddie, but Dad didn't let me. The boardwalk was amazing as soon as I got on it with my dad and stepmom. Tons of fun places to go to, including an arcade. There I was, just 10-year-old me with a backpack on, walking around with my dad and stepmom. It was almost lunchtime, so we needed to find a nice restaurant to eat at. We found a jungle-themed Tex-Mex bar and grill called Tree Frog Tommy's. As soon as we entered it, it was dark, with fake palm trees and brightly colored Tiffany lamps over the tables. There were both waiters and waitresses in the restaurant, but I didn't want to draw attention to myself this time, knowing the quiet kid I was. Our waiter was a young man, but older than the waitress at the other restaurant we ate at. We ordered our drinks, diet of course. Then as soon as our waiter left, I had something I felt like I needed to tell my dad. There was something on my mind, and I thought it would be the right time to tell him. Dad, after we order our food, can I tell you something? I asked him. Yes, Dad responded. The waiter brought our drinks. I ordered fajitas with beans and rice. Jessica started chowing down on the chips and salsa. Then I started talking to my dad. There's something I need you to help me with, I explained. I'll admit that I wish that I had more friends to go on trips with us. You don't think you have enough friends? Dad asked. No, I answered. I just wish the friends I already had weren't so busy with their lives. I mean, my friends are always just... Our food arrived just as I was about to finish my sentence. We thanked the waiter. I guess I'll have to finish the sentence later, I thought. I crushed some chips in my tortilla, then spread the bean dip, sprinkled down the brown rice, and put the grilled chicken on it. Then I wrapped up my tortilla and started chowing down on it. After my first tortilla in the restaurant came a magician. Tall and skinny with short, curly, dark hair and wearing a white top hat and a maroon cloak. The magician came over to me. Good afternoon, he said. You seem like a kid who'd be up for some tricks. Whoa! I screamed. What tricks do you have? I can only do one trick right now, said the magician. The magician removed his wallet, which was dark red with white stars and a black rabbit on it. He opened his wallet, and there was no money in it. But when he closed his wallet, he mysteriously removed $500 from it. The trick scared me to death. It was beyond me. And this money is yours, the magician offered. This isn't a joke. I am being all serious. Thank you, I said in a state of shock. As soon as the magician gave me the money, I just put it in my wallet and finished my tortillas. After lunch, I still hadn't spent my $100 yet. The $500 from that magician made for a good bonus. Maybe that magician was rich. I saw the movie theater, Dolphin Cinema 5, where Hannah was going to. I sadly thought, since she couldn't be with me for the day. My dad and Jessica brought me towards the movie theater. We're going to see a movie? I asked, surprised. What movie are we seeing? We're not seeing a movie, Dad said. Jessica and I looked at each other confused. As soon as we walked into the theater, there was a bowling alley which had the typical carpet most bowling alleys had, brightly colored with zany shapes, as well as a food court with a fountain in the center that had a large dolphin statue and movie theater treats around it. Dad bought me, himself, and Jessica bowling shoes, and we put them on. Suddenly, I saw Hannah and her family right next to us in the bowling alley. "Hi, Hannah!" I hollered. "Hey, it's you!" Hannah responded, trying to remember my name. I told her my name again. Then I saw that she was with her parents and a boy about 17 or 18, assuming it was her brother. "I didn't know you had a big brother," I said. "He's not my brother," said Hannah. He's my cousin. He and his parents live in this city, and we like to visit." "I have family in Florida, too," I responded. "Cool," Hannah said. "Want to bowl with us?" "Yes," I said. So I bowled with Hannah and her family, as well as my dad and stepmother. After bowling, Hannah asked, "You want to see the movie I'm seeing with my mom? What type of movie is it?" I asked back. "Animation, sci-fi, comedy, or fantasy?" "What do those words mean?" Hannah asked. "No, it's none of those genres," her mom said. "It's a teen drama. Her cousin and I love those, and I can't wait to see it." "Oh," I said, because that wasn't my type of movie. "Let's go, Colton," Jessica said. Boy, what another disappointment I had. As we left the movie theater, I was disappointed once again that I missed my chances on making a new friend with a girl who I thought was pretty. But I didn't cry about it. I was 10. Jessica wanted ice cream, but I wanted to sit down with my father to talk to him, so when Jessica walked into an ice cream parlor, I sat down on the bench, next to it. "So you wish your friends had more time with you?" guessed Dad. "Yes, Mom and I do live in a small town. My kind of tastes fit in more in California, New York, Nevada, and this state." "Well, maybe when you grow up, you'll find your people," said Dad. I smiled. Maybe Hannah didn't have enough in common with me anyway. Kids need to learn that about people they like, because sometimes it turns out that you don't like a certain person that much anyway. "Do you want some ice cream?" asked Dad. "I'm not hungry," I responded. Suddenly stopping by me and Dad were 4 college freshmen, 3 very cutesy girls, and a boy, all in swim gear. The girls were laughing and acting ridiculous, and the boy was just acting cool. I was interested in girls, like I already said. I walked over to the girls, said hi, and they said hi back like I was adorable. I was a kid at the time. "Now I want some ice cream," I said to Dad. Dad and I walked into the ice cream parlor. The teenagers followed us. Jessica was already at a table eating her sundae. Fortunately, there wasn't a line. Lucky us. I ordered what started being my favorite flavor, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. I got my ice cream in a cone, and one of the girls walked up to me with her face leaning towards my ice cream. The girl spouted, "Give me a bite," over and over again. I quickly walked away and ate my ice cream at a table. The girls giggled at me because they thought I was adorable, since I was a kid at the time, like I already said. I gave all the girls hugs when I was done eating my ice cream. The boy gave me a peace sign. We were on our way back to the hotel in the car. I was very happy. Dad wanted to know what I wanted to eat for dinner. I then started thinking, and then it popped into my head. Blondie's batch. Again? Dad said. I really enjoyed my platter, Dad, I said, and I really love the atmosphere of that restaurant. My dad shrugged and was like, okay, so he drove over to Blondie's batch and parked the car in it. As we walked into Blondie's batch, there was a whole group of hostesses there. One was even the waitress we had the night before. Hey, I remember seeing you, the waitress said. I saw your name on the picture you drew me. My brother's name is Colton. I was so happy. I couldn't believe how happy I was to hear that another person went by my name, because it wasn't very common back then. As soon as we got to our tables, we ordered our drinks, diet of course, and then the waitress left, and then I decided to draw another picture. Our waitress came over to our drinks, and then I started drawing. I ordered another platter, and then as soon as she left, I decided to add a twist to the drawing, which was to give the waitress a huge cupcake for a head. As soon as the waitress came to our table with the food, I had already finished coloring the drawing, and then she looked at it and she said, "Is this supposed to be me?" she said confusedly. She didn't know why I gave her a cupcake for a head, but she just went with it, then kept the drawing. She was nice about it. When I was done eating my food, I ordered another skillet cookie because I just loved it. I could not get enough of it. I loved it very much. I even wish that my mom made it for me. We went back to our hotel and it was very peaceful at night. Once again, I heard the ocean waves outside. Then I decided to get out my DVD wallet and see if there were any movies I wanted to watch since my Princess TV had a DVD compartment. I was trying to look for a movie I could leave on all night so I could sleep, and I decided to put in my favorite movie of all time, and that was a movie about ghosts, only it was a comedy. Then I put it in the DVD compartment. Then I pressed play on the on the menu, and then I went to sleep. I was in my pajamas and I was very happy to be happy. Right after the title of the movie came in, I thought to myself, Sandcastle Seaside has been awesome. And you know, maybe I don't have to be cool to other people to let them like me. I think I'm cool just the way I am, and I think they do too. The next morning, it was our last day at Sandcastle Seaside. We were supposed to leave the morning after. My dad gave me two options on our last day at this place: the beach or the pool. I suggested the pool, since I hadn't been into it yet. It just looked adorable and fun to swim in. I put my swim trunks on and we went into the pool. I did a couple of flips while floating on top of the water. Not backflips, just moving my whole body clockwise. I I can't do that as well as I used to. The day was very nice, though windy. My dad was getting sick of breakfast at the restaurant at our hotel. The food didn't even taste that good. It did to me, though. I always liked hotel food better than other people did. As soon as we got back into the hotel, I put my flip flops and t-shirt back on, but I still wore my swim trunks. Dad, Jessica, and I ate at a cafe called Flip and Flop. The atmosphere was very formal, and I believe it was an old ATV dealer that they made into a restaurant. Our waitress came in, and we ordered our drinks. Our waitress was shy, so I just left her alone this time. I ordered chocolate chip pancakes with peanut butter and banana slices. Here you go, sweetie, enjoy, she said as she brought my breakfast. Despite my anxiety, this vacation turned out really well for my first trip to a cool and hip vacation spot. I hoped we went to a place like it again since. And that's the end of the whole story. I hope you've enjoyed it.